in to reinforce. But you can now see that the Klingons have a very nice set of interceptors that they can use to just pop in and do some harass. And we'll see what we'll see if these guys are going to give chase. And they are. So maybe we'll see a little bit of. We shall see an interesting. Nope. It looks like they're going to back out and save the engagement for later. But certainly a little bit of excitement. Wouldn't want anyone to get too bored, get too comfortable while they're building their bases. You can see that is definitely given Zeb a little bit of a hit here. He was not expecting, or wasn't prepared for, the quick attack, and so you can see his mining has taken a hit, which is good for the opposing team. Obviously a little bit of lag. But now that you can see that the team is definitely aware of the dangers of these wormholes in the back of their base, so they're giving it a little bit more respect now. Teams regrouping a little bit. Looks like Dom's coming in to reinforce these his teammate. Let's see what the Borg are up to. So the Borg over here, and this again is Nuclear Dude, and he's probably going for a much longer game. So probably going into spheres or possibly even an early diamond or cube, depending on how his resourcing goes. He's got a nice little. He's well protected over here in this corner, so he's not really expecting anything. So, however, we can see that except I seem to be mistaken. This is really Nuclear Dude's scout cubes, and so he's actually going to support a nice little bit of a raid. And I don't know if the top team is actually going to see this. If the bottom team manages to get enough units here, they can make a strong push into Zeb's Klingon base here, and there's really not a lot of forces here. Shude is bringing in some bugs, and the bugs took a nerf in the last patch where they no longer do one-shot kills, and so they're no longer considered exploits, and so you can do some bug ramming with them, but you're going to end up sacrificing your firepower. So we shall see how this turns out. We've definitely got a building up of forces around this wormhole, and so the bottom team has actually got a good handle on the wormhole situation, and they are going to give Zeb, a little bit of something, and this is going to hurt. Zeb is probably going to lose this second mining pair here, so that's going to put him back. Oh yes, so the scout cubes. So what I was talking about earlier, that the scout cubes, you can see the Borg bringing in some of the earlier units, and so this is definitely going to hurt. So now we have a nice little fleet of bugs coming in. We'll see how this group of 4 Borels and 3 Scubes work. Now, a lot of good concentrated fire here. These bugs are actually doing a really good job. They're taking out the main fleet of Borels, and with the extra support from some of the other Klingons, and here comes the Cavorts. Now these Cavorts are nice and nasty. These are going to provide some very strong. Oh, and just when it looked like the bottom team was losing the initiative, Dom comes in with some Levi's with some nice specials, taking out just a large chunk, doing a large bit of damage. And then he's going to need to get out of there now. But those Cavorts are really showing their power, really doing a lot of damage. And this fleet from the bottom needs to get out of there. It's not really a match for these 6 cavorts, especially in this damaged state. There we go. That's a very smart move. Of course, Dom staying in, taking a look at the situation, just kind of providing a little intelligence for his teammates. And the Klingons doing a good job of keeping their vessels cloaked. Now, what could be interesting is that Dom can see the fact that the wormhole is going off, and the other team had his vessels cloaked, so Dom is not actually able to see what's going on. He can see that the wormhole is being triggered, and an interesting tactic would be to just hang out and wait to see if there are any cloaked units around, like exactly what Dom is doing. He hasn't actually retreated yet, and so he's waiting for the vessels to get out of there, so he can go and provide another little bit of harassment on this Zeb's mining. Now, this harassment's not going to last very long, if at all, but if he gets it off, it might take out a miner or two, but it looks like that's not what he's going for. So we'll take a look at this fleet of vessels. So the cavorts from Seaboss's Klingon fleet are making their way over to the wormhole, and Dom is providing intelligence on it, but he's still not going to be able to see this fleet. Now, it looks like more or less that these are scouting, and it's interesting where, I wonder if there's sort of a back door back here. And now we can see that the Dexter's Klingon fleet of Brels is making, again, another run on... Oh, Zeb's base is just really in a bad position. He is taking the brunt of every one of these assaults. And his teammates over here in the corners have a lot of extra distance, and so they're just really not affected. And so Zeb is really just, again, just taking the brunt of all of these attacks. And Dexter's got a nice little force of Brels here. I count good, probably 8 or 9 of them. And so really Zeb is really hurting here. So we'll see what, if any of this other fleet of cavorts is going to do. And it looks like it's backed up by a couple of Quebecs, which is nice additional firepower. But yeah, Zeb is taking a very, very strong beating here. And his teammates are just... Here comes the reinforcements. But that's... These bugs may be able to wipe out some of these... Brels, but this is just gonna hurt. Really, what Zeb needs to do is he needs to stop building this armory before it just becomes cannon fodder. And it doesn't look like he's gonna do that. Now these Brels are probably gonna try to take this guy out. Now there's a floating fleet of cavorts somewhere, and I've lost track of it. Let's see if they're down here. So there's a floating set of cavorts somewhere that we're about to see some pain somewhere. Now these bugs, there's just not enough of these bugs, and it looks like some of the top teams' late game strategies kind of hurting them now. Now we'll see if these bugs provide any sort of let's see how well these bugs do against these. Ah yes, good old collision. But you'll notice that these rank 0 bugs don't actually kill these Brels, even in one shot. They'll take them down to maybe 10%. But in the end, they're not the one-hit wonders that they used to be. And so this harassing fleet of Brels is now running loose. And really, the team needs... Oh, and here are the cavorts. Now, the cavorts are a lovely addition, and it should be able to take out all of these Brels. Except some of these Brels have got a nice little bit of experience, and